Dear students, today I'll discuss with you the Constitution. The Constitution is of two types. One is a written Constitution and another is an oral Constitution. For example, India follows the written Constitution and the government of England, they are having the oral Constitution. Every Constitution is having a salient features, characteristics. Indian Constitution also had some salient features. So today I'll discuss with you some of the salient features of the Indian Constitution. Number one, Indian Constitution is one of the lengthiest written constitution in the world. The Indian Constitution is the most detailed of all written constitutions of the world, whereas the Constitution of America is the shortest constitution of the world, which consists of 7 articles only. The Australian Constitution consists of 128 articles. The Canadian Constitution consists of 147 articles. The Indian Constitution, when it came into being on 26 January 1950, it contains 395 articles and 8 schedules and 22 chapters or parts. Presently, it is having the 12 schedules, over 460 articles and 26 parts. One of the lengthiest written constitution of the world. The second characteristic, Indian Constitution follows the parliamentary form of government. The Constitution of India establishes a parliamentary form of government both at the center and the states. In this respect, the makers of the Constitution have followed the British model also. We adopted the parliamentary form of government from the British Constitution or the British model. The reason for this is that we were accustomed to this type of government. The essence of the parliamentary form of government is its responsibility to the legislature. The president is the constitutional head of the state. The real executive power is vested in the Council of Ministers, whose head is the Prime Minister. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the lower house, that is Lok Sabha. The third feature, Indian Constitution is a unique blend of rigidity as well as flexibility. It has been the nature of the amending process itself in federation, which has led political scientists to classify federal constitution as rigid. Fundamental rights is another feature of the Constitution. The fundamental rights are derived from the Constitution of USA. The incorporation of the formal Declaration of Fundamental Rights in Part 3 of the Constitution is deemed to be a distinguishing feature of a democratic state. These rights are prohibition against the state. The state cannot make a law which takes away or breaches any of the rights of the citizens granted in the Part 3 of the Constitution. The next feature is the directive principle of the state policy. The directive principle of state policy contained in the Part 4 of the Constitution, Article 36 to 51 deals with it. Unlike the fundamental rights, these directive principles are not justiciable. They are derived from the Constitution of Ireland. If the state is unable to implement any provisions of Part 4, no action can be brought against the state in law court. For this want of enforceability, there has been much criticism. But this criticism is not justified. Though by their very nature, they are not justiciable in the court of law, yet the state authorities have to answer for them to the electorates at the time of the elections. The idea of a welfare state envisaged in our constitution can only be achieved if the states endeavor to implement them with a high sense of moral duty. The next fundamental right is the federation with strong centralized tendency. The constitution remarkable feature is that being a federal constitution, it acquires a unitary character during the time of emergency. Article 352, Article 356, and Article 360 of the Indian Constitution. These emergency provisions we have derived from the Constitution of Germany. Then the next is the universal adult franchise. The old system of communal electorates has been abolished and the uniform adult suffrage has been adopted. Under the Indian Constitution, every man and woman above 18 years of age has been given the right to elect representatives for their legislatures. Then the next feature is independent judiciary. Just giving a number of fundamental rights in the Constitution without any provision for their proper safeguard will not serve any useful purpose. Indeed, the very existence of a right depends upon the remedy for its enforcement. For this purpose, an independent and impartial judiciary with the power of judicial review has been established under the Constitution of India. It is the custodian of the rights of citizens. Besides, in a federal constitution, it plays another significant role of determining the limits of powers of the center and the states. Then the next is the secular state. A secular state has no religion of its own as recognized religion of a state. It treats all religions equally. The preamble declares the resolve of all the people of India to secure to all its citizens liberty of belief, faith, and worship. Article 25 to 28 of the Indian Constitution give concrete shape to this concept of secularism. It guarantees to every person the freedom of conscience and the right of profess, practice, and propagation religion. In a secular state, the state only regulates the relationship between the man and the man. It is not concerned with the relationship of man with the gods. One may worship God according to the dictates of his own conscience. However, it is to be noted that the freedom of religion is not an absolute freedom, but subject to the regulatory power of the state. In the name of religion, nothing can be done which is against the public order, morality, and health of the public. Secularism is also subject to the democratic socialism. Religious freedom cannot therefore be used to practice economic exploitation. The right to acquire, own, and administer property by religious institution is subject to the regulatory power of the state. Single citizenship is another feature of the Indian Constitution. Though the Constitution of India is federal and provides for the dual polity, that is center and the state, but it provides for a single citizenship for the whole of India. The American Constitution provides for the dual citizenship, that is the citizen of America and a state citizenship. On the other hand, there is only one citizenship in India, that is the citizenship of India. There is no state citizenship. Every Indian is the citizen of India and enjoys the same rights of citizenship no matter in what state he resides. Lastly is the fundamental duties. The Constitution 42nd Amendment Act 1976 has introduced a code of 10 fundamental duties for citizens. And the 86th Amendment Constitution Act 2002 added one more fundamental duty. The fundamental duties are indeed to serve as a constant reminder to every citizen, while the Constitution has specifically conferred on them certain duties. certain rights. It also requires the citizen to observe certain basic norms of democratic conduct and democratic behavior. These fundamental duties were added in 1976 and they were derived from the former constitution of the erstwhile constitution of USSR. Thank you very much. Thank you, Thoda ji.